Alright, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and as part of Rankin Technical College's AWD1111 class for the fall 2020 semester at Rankin, I am going through a series of video presentations based on the textbook we're using for the class, that textbook being Get Programming with Node.js by Jonathan Wexler, a Manning publication. I am nearing the end of our second unit, which is Lesson 12. I'm going through the second iteration of our capstone project, which is Confetti Cuisine. Alright, so 12.4, I'm on the bottom of page 125. With Express.js, my views are going to be cleaner and easier to render. I need to create the views shown there. And I believe I have all of those. Not from there, though. So, layout.ejs, index.ejs, courses.ejs, contact.ejs, thanks.ejs, and error.ejs. So yes, I do have them all. I'll start by generating my application's layout view, which will handle navigation and general site structure from page to page. Okay. First, we require the Express EJS layouts, which we installed earlier. Then we set the application server so it knows the view engine or templating engine that we're using is going to be embedded JavaScript. Finally, we do the app.js. We tell it to use the required layouts module that we just set up. Okay, so let's bring this in. Now again, this is a little funky just for a second, but we'll fix it. We don't need that anymore. And that'll become a comma. That fixes that. I like to, I'm trying to come up with something here where we are, setting up stuff and having some form and some substance to it. So here was my supports. So add support for layouts. Oops, Z. There's that. All right, so now we've got these. Set templating engine used. Oops. Okay, so there's that. Each of the following views will use this layout to provide a visual consistency and avoid repetition of code between files. Within the views folder, we're going to create index, all these we have talked about before. Like the layout file, these views will render as EJS or embedded JavaScript, allowing us to dynamically feed content to the pages. After creating index.ejs, change the home page route to render this in place of plain text. Okay, in just 1 minute we'll do that. We'll add this file to the views folder. But it doesn't show what that is. And I'm not that good that I can just figure it out. All right. Again, I'm going to cheat here. And that's what I want. I just want to see what's in the layout file, because unless I miss something, they don't show in the book what it is. There's a lot in there. So let's grab that. And let's open up our layout file. Let's plop that in and let's take a look at it. Alright, here's your typical HTML. Alright. We're adding our bootstrap and our confetti cuisine. This will be our navigation. There's their title. Okay, we'll have home, courses, and contacts. We'll have buttons for those. And it says here we're going to plop in the body. All right, let's hit it and save. I don't know, perhaps that's what the author thinks, is we should be able to look at that and figure it out ourselves. I don't know exactly what he's looking for there. Alright, so I've done that. Now I've got that. Bottom of page, or top of page rather, 127. The one view we need to focus on is contact.ejs, where we'll have prospective students fill out a form. The form will look like the HTML in the next listing. Notice that the form action is /contact and the method is post. Alright, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to grab this, copy it, and I want to look at what we used in the last lesson under our contact form. Well, then let's do this. That's not a problem. All right, let's bring up our contact EJS, which right now I believe is going to be empty. Paste that in. Now that's part of a form. There's no way in heck that that's complete. We don't have any HTML around it, etc. I should be all set. How did the author do this? Now that's the authors, and from what I just saw, that looks totally different than this. I'm just going to leave mine the way that it is. Okay? Alright, jumping back in here then. I should be all set. If I name my routes to match and render their corresponding views, I should be able to launch the application and see those views rendered within the layout I built. The only thing missing is the app's ability to serve images and other static files, which are covered next. The layout file is rendered on every page visited. Try adding a new content page below that body, and you should see that. Alright, this is all of section 12.5, so we'll finish this up, and that'll be it for this lecture. In the first take of the application using HTTP serving, assets became a big mess. With every new asset added, we needed to create a new route and handle it appropriately. Lucky for us, Express.js handles this task nicely, requiring virtually no effort on our part to handle any and all static files we want the application to serve. To enable static assets, we will use the express static function by adding app_use express static right below the initialization of express in the application file. This allows our individual assets to be directly served. The last major step then is using dynamic content in the views, which we will do in just a couple minutes. Let me bring this up. Okay. Now he said to put that right there, so what I will do is I will move my sets so that they are under my use statements. I don't know if you have to do that. I don't know if there has to be a rhyme, reason, or order to that, but that's the way that I am going to do it right now. Okay, so I have finished through section 12.5, so I did 12.4 and 12.5. We will come back and do 12.6 and 12.7, which is the end of the chapter. We'll do that in just a couple moments.